On a muddy field with the rain pouring down, USC took a huge step in burying the Lincoln Riley teams aren't tough narrative. They out Iowa'd Iowa. They committed less penalties. They didn't turn the ball over. They matched time of possession, and they got 1 yard when they needed to get 1 yard. That showed out in both of Bryan Jackson's 1-yard touchdown runs. Shout out to him for rocking number 21 too. Love a good Lendell White throwback. Any running back in 21 looks sick. Played in the Holiday Bowl against Wisconsin. It was my redshirt freshman year when I played at USC, and it was my first experience with Big Ten West football up close and personal. It's not like the media narrative paints. We weren't shocked by the physicality. You know exactly what you're walking into. That didn't mean it wasn't difficult, but it did have me walk away with a new perspective on the value of ugly wins and how an ugly win can be a good win. And for plays like this, I got like 3 plays where this is just players making plays. It's 50-50 plays. It's not the way you draw it up in the meeting rooms. It's just guys finding a way to make something happen. Here, it's going to be Jacoby Lane. He's going to break in, and then it's an out route towards the sideline. Jaden Maiava is rolling out to his right. He is going to make this defensive end miss and extend the play. Again, not how you draw it up. I'm probably not making this defensive end miss. Jaden Maiava's better than me. He's making it happen. You got Lemon, I believe, in the backfield. They're using him as a decoy. They send him into the flat. You got receiver working towards the back end line. I believe this was King Miller into the flat. But ultimately, this is Jacoby Lane and his quarterback, Jaden Maiava, making something happen. But the skill of USC is just better here. I got a back view on this one as well. Make the guy miss, get the catch, excellent throw. And I show that play specifically because this is a grimy game. Right there, they were down 14-0. You have to come up with that play. If you don't, maybe they don't score. Don't keep that game close. Excellent throw and catch on that one. This one, again, same scenario or similar vibe in that you're down 7-21. This is the Makai Lemon breaking across the safety's face. He acts like he's pushing to a corner and then, breaks towards the safety's face on this one. You got a vertical shot by the receiver on the top of the screen. You got a hitch here, and then Lake McCree is going to act like he's blocking and then gets vertical. His ass has got to get there quicker, though. The reason I say that is this safety is lurking. This safety is trying to get over to his left, offense is right, and have a kill shot on Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon does an excellent job of setting up his routes. That's going to be a theme on this one, but he breaks across this safety's face, and Jaden Maiava, to make these throws in this weather with this anticipation, I know the whole storyline is going to be Makai Lemon for obvious reasons. Jaden Maiava played lights out. To throw this football with the anticipation that he does is big time, because in the rain, I know for me, sometimes you get gun shy. Not Maiava. I think he showed a lot, especially from an NFL perspective. Look at when he throws this ball. 1, 2, 3. Ball's out there. Ball's out there. Safety here, safety here. There's a tight window here. This is an excellent catch. This is the big time. Makai Lemon comes up with it, trusting your guys. It's both those plays. Maiava trusting his dudes to make plays. This is Maiava just making a play by himself. He's got to come back on the bottom of the screen to Jacoby Lane. Right guard just gets absolutely beat right here by the Iowa defensive tackle. Look at Maiava's footwork. Makes a defensive tackle miss. With dudes by his legs, able to come backside, get the ball out. Look at that throw. That's big time. Again, in a wet weather game, to come up with that throw, this is not stuff that you're teaching in the quarterback room. This is just your players going out there and making plays. And then the last one, just for good measure, this is honestly my favorite one because it's in the fourth quarter. You got to have it. It's 3rd and 6. Got to find a way to put this game away, protect your defense. You're in comeback mode just like A&M was when we were talking in the last segment. Here, look at Jacoby Lane. He's the point man in this mesh concept down here. Unique design for the football hardos. Bazillion different ways to run mesh. This is Lincoln Riley's new iteration that I've never really seen this one. Jacoby Lane working left to right. You got this tight end sitting in the middle of the ball. You got 16 on a little dig route. 16's got to work. Got to work to get that window. Make Maiava see you in this window because he probably should have got this ball. And then you got Lemon. They're trying to tee him up on a little option route where he's off the ball and then sitting down at 5 yards. The reason I love it, though, is Lang's working to his right. Everything's covered. Maiava's going to navigate the pocket, step to his left, and then he just throws Lang open, which this is the type of decision where this easily could have been intercepted, and you're going back to meeting rooms being like, it's a poor decision by the quarterback. Instead, you're clapping your hands, being like, excellent job, Jaden Mayaba. Way to trust your guy. And excellent job by Lang working. That's big time. 3rd and 6, rainy game, elements, back view. Check this. Nothing's there. Now it's just recess football. Throwing your guy open, like the trust there, that is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reps trusting your guy to make a play. And the Trojans shut out Iowa over the final 2 quarters and had given up just 6 second half points over the past 3 weeks. D'Anton Lynn, I see you. Big reason why is D'Anton Lynn is making play calls like this. This is more of a scheme that I wanted to show you, because if you've watched this far in this clip, you love X's and O's and you want to know what USC is doing. I loved what D'Anton Lynn did here. So often we talk about the offense trying to scheme things open to get their skill players open. This is a defense scheming up a defensive front to get one of their best defensive players open. Right here, you got Eric Gentry, who's one of their best defensive players, 6-7 yards off the ball. You notice something? I don't know if they talked about this. Yogi was on the call. I don't know if they talked about this on the call, but it jumped off on film, and maybe D'Anton talked about it in press conferences. I haven't seen anything, so forgive me if this is old news. But you're facing Iowa, and they don't have a single guy lined up over the guards and the center. Kind of crazy, right? Physical offense. You don't have a single defensive tackle lined up in the A-gap. Kind of a wild scheme. But what they do is they have 2 linebackers standing up right here. They're lined up in the A-gap, but they're not head up on the defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? The reason you do that is to screw up with Iowa's combination blocks from the guard and center, because when your defense is at depth, it's hard to combination block guard and center, because it's like, who are you comboing to? Because the guy's not right in front of you. And the athleticism of the linebackers for USC, you're able to get by that. And not only are you able to get by that, if they do block these 2 linebackers to start, they're certainly not going to have their combination block get to Eric Gentry. And that allows Gentry, because he's further off from a normal linebacker's distance, to just roam and to just run and do what Gentry does best. USC lined up in this front a bunch. I haven't necessarily seen Iowa face this front. This is a bold task. People are critical of D'Anton Lynn at sometimes and all the physicality of the defensive line. This is doubling down on the athleticism of your defensive line and saying, we're going to out-athlete Iowa's offensive line. I love this front, creative wrinkle, super cool X's and O's. And then here on this play, because of all that junk and you got 3 linebackers in the middle and you got to process a lot, it puts Anthony Lucas one-on-one with the left tackle, and he just gives him the business. But this is a great rush by Lucas. Immediately gets to Mark Gronowski, showing the athleticism, sack fumble, coming up with a big play there. This one was the last play defensively of the game, and I just thought it was great team defense by USC. It starts Anthony Lucas, 101. This is where he puts the left tackle on skates. And Iowa, left tackle, proud offensive line group, obviously. The footwork for this left tackle, he's not sure what Lucas is going to give him. He's not sure if it's going to be speed around the edge, if he's going to work inside. He tries to help his left guard with an extra hand. This is great awareness by Lucas, where it's not just speed. Anthony Lucas makes this play because he gives the left tackle the business on this one. You got corner route here. You got a little return route here. USC's going man coverage. You got a little out route right here. A few little points. I mentioned Lucas. Excellent rush by him. Man coverage by USC. Excellent coverage by this nickel. This is a tough one-on-one matchup. Nice job by this safety, knowing schematically. Right here, if you're going to force Mark Gronowski on 3rd and 6 to throw a deep corner to the far sideline, throwing the ball on the right hash, that is a win defensively. What you can't let happen if you're this safety is allowing this receiver to break across your face here. Cannot let that happen. He's inside leverage. Force them to beat you with the corner to the far side. That's exactly what he does. And then as we play this, I like the scheme defensively, and it's the impact of having your front 4 get rush on Gronowski. Rushing 4, dropping 7. What that does is it allows your 2 linebackers underneath. Right here, 1 linebacker, wary about anything underneath of the sticks. And then you got Gentry here, low-key, not sure what his ass is doing. towards the numbers, towards the boundary. Like, get inside here. The scheme, I guess, if you flush Gronowski out to his right, maybe Gentry's there. Regardless, you have two linebackers roaming here. If you didn't get pressure with 4 and had to rush one of these guys, well, then you're susceptible to the vacated zone that they're leaving. But it's excellent pressure by Lucas here, and then great one-on-one coverage on the back end there. See, got in his grill. Excellent job. Iowa's defense, they entered the game ranked 6th nationally in scoring, only giving up 13.7 points per game and 7th in yards per play allowed at 4.3. The best wide receiver duo in the country without Buckeyes on their helmet didn't let anything Kirk Ferentz threw at them faze them at all. Makai Lemon had receptions of 12, 24, 26, and 35 in the second half and caught a third quarter touchdown. Jacoby Lane had receptions of 10, 12, and 14 yards in the third quarter, and then drew a huge 15-yard PI play, which there's so much good to break down. I'm not going to break down that play. But in the fourth quarter, that was huge for USC. Right here, let me give you a little taste of arguably the best receiver performance of the week. Makai Lemon, dude's an absolute baller. Here he's in the slot, and he's going to press up vertically, and it's like a 15-yard out. And again, you got Mayava rolling out to his right, and this is an absolute dime. Excellent catch, but a dime. In the weather and the elements, this is hard. Contested catch. Makai Lemon's so good contested catch, so good at setting up his routes. That's awesome. All right, then you come back later on, and I'm pretty sure I have these in the right order. Forgive me if USC fans are like, Max, that happened in the first quarter versus the second quarter. But right there, you have a 15-yard out. You know this safety's like, shit, I'm lined up one-on-one with Makai Lemon. This is a tough matchup. So you broke out the first time. This time Lemon, again, does an excellent job setting up his route, acting like he's going to go outside, and then you got the post towards the middle of the field. Terrible arrow. But this is the type of play call, if you're Lincoln Riley, you know going into the game, you're getting to this play call at some point. He calls this end of second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely calls it down when they're down 7-21. Excellent catch by Lemon. This is the diving catch across the middle of the field. Dude, this guy's hands are big time. But you had the outbreaking route the first time, set it up. I circled the wrong safety, but you guys get the point. Excellent throw. And then the third one, which I love, this is later on in the game, again speaks to the trust that Lemon and Mayava have. For me personally, I love it when Lincoln lines up both Lemon on one side and Lang right next to him, because if you're a defense, you're shitting down your leg if that's the lineup that they throw at you. But it's trust. Again, you have a corner route that's going to be tight coverage, and then you got a snap route, little 9-yard hitch route by Lane. And this is tight coverage that Mayava trusts his dude, puts this ball into a very tight window. Let me show you that one more time. Like, that's an excellent throw. Iowa was 83-5 when leading by 8 or more points since 2015. USC went down 14 points twice in the first half. They scored the game's last 19 points and came out of the Coliseum with a win. And I think Lincoln Riley said it best when he said that was a culture win right there, man, if there ever was one. And I'll finish off by just saying that win was huge for Lincoln Riley and the total trajectory of this program, because that gives you way more leash as a program to still have positive vibes about the 2025 season, even if you lose to Oregon. Obviously, hopefully USC beats Oregon. Hopefully they keep the path towards the playoff. But if they lose to Oregon, going into the season, that's kind of a game you should lose. And I know every SC fan's gonna be like, Max, get out of here, we're better than Oregon. I get that. But the optics wise, if you end the regular season with 3 losses, that's still taking a step forward from the 2024 campaign. That's still having something that you can build off of. Versus if you lose to Iowa, that same narrative of USC not being tough, not getting it done, continues to snowball, continues to be a thing. Now you partially put that narrative to bed. Give yourself a marquee matchup with College Game Day coming to Autzen, where you can really double down and change the narrative of where the program's going and the trajectory that it's on, and reestablish belief from a segment of the fan base, there's still a huge segment that does not have belief in where this program's at. That game was huge. The way in which they won it, the timing in which they won it, and the stakes that it sets it up to go on the road in Eugene. I'm fired up.